Hey, so today I'm going to be going over why people take kindness for weakness in the first place, which is part A, and part B where it gets really juicy and so much, oh my gosh, like so much is revealed. I cannot even make this up through my intuitive drawing, which works in where I relax and meditate, go into a semi-trance and just let the pen that I'm using and the pastel just do their thing. Obviously, I just intuitively feel out the things I need to draw without thinking about it too much. And this is the stuff that all came up. Like, we have a lot to go through. So I'd say, yeah, part one is going to be why people take your kindness for weakness and what we need to know about, because this came up, these copycats and creeps. So for some of you, just take what resonates. You're dealing with very weird, I'll just call it weird energy of lots of copycats who want to be you. They want to like live in your skin. They have a very parasitic energy. They're creeps, okay? Like, and because of the seriousness of this, I'm not gonna act nice. Like, I'm gonna say it like it is, unfiltered, but about some of these very problematic people. And so if you're not in a good space, like emotional space, to hear like the full, brutal, honest truth, then I'd say maybe save this reading for another day, or just like take what applies to you. Obviously, because this is different from tarot, right? This is very general and it's also for the collective. Chances are there's only going to be 2 or 3 things mentioned here that's going to resonate with you, and the rest just is a situation that won't apply to you at all. So that's the disclaimer. I'm just going to be totally unfiltered. A lot of things I didn't even fully expect to come out have come out. So I'd say if you're easily offended, don't get offended. Like, you don't have to watch this. So there's a lot of, toxicity that's going on that needs to be brought out into the light. So now I'll start this reading. So why do people take kindness for weakness? And the main reason that was coming out is because of their own sense of entitlement and greed. So it says, got too greedy and taker, last forever. They thought that this would last forever, that if someone's kind to them, that's their role and they're going to be kind forever, is what they believe. And it's like, when I wrote this, I sort of, not that I, how, okay, I'll explain it as fast as I can. So when I say I heard this, I mean I didn't hear like actual voices in my head. I mean to say, when you think inside your head and then you can sometimes hear, like, you can hear what's being said. So let's say you think about how you want to get pizza, and then in your mind you hear that voice, which is your voice saying, oh, I want to get pizza. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I heard this coming out very loudly, like almost screaming at me. It says, it's your job. So some of these nasty people, and let's just call it what it is, these nasty, horrible people, if this applies to you, they thought it was your job to be nice and overgiving. They thought it was your job to continue breaking your back for them, to go above and beyond for them. It's your job. It's like, that sort of energy to it, or situation where someone, let's say this happens quite often, where let's say a woman's in a relationship with a guy who is very selfish and just entitled to her labor. So if he sees like dirty dishes in the sink, and let's say she's come back from a 12-hour shift at work, okay, very specific, but this is just a hypothetical situation, and then he goes, oh, why aren't these dishes washed? It's your job. It's your job. You're supposed to cook and clean. You're supposed to do everything for me. I'ma just sit there and just a loud marching entitled king baby. King baby is what I heard here now. Like someone who just is such a brat and thinks they deserve the whole world, deserve other people picking up after them all the time, and like having no regards to your peace and your well-being, your rest. So number one, they thought you would always stay kind, you would always overgive. They thought, oh, it's your job. That's what they thought. And so there was, pick me energy, copycats. So that I felt like compelled to go more in depth into that in part B. So it's almost like, let's talk about the gift of kindness here. Your kindness is actually a real gift, and not everyone has the capacity or the empathy to even appreciate that sort of gift. So if you just keep giving it away like it's candy, right, it draws in the wrong sort of attention, where you get users and abusers and just people who are very greedy. They got too greedy. They think you'll always serve them. And they were very dependent on your kindness, almost addicted to it. It was their fix. And you see, whenever, let's say this is quite specific. I don't know why, but whenever in my intuitive drawings, I draw like different eyes, and I can tell that the eyes are supposed to be fully dark like this. This is often indicating, but just take what resonates, please, indicating someone who has negative attachments, someone who may have a lust problem, someone who is addicted to something. And the fact that this person has greed written on their forehead, and we've got their fix here. Like they're fixated and hooked onto the fact that you were so nice to them. And it's to the point where now they're just bitter because maybe you've pulled away, maybe you just couldn't possibly overgive because you've given so much. Let's say your cup is empty and drained, and now you're choosing to fill your own cup and mend these cracks in your cup. And by choosing yourself first, this person is bitter, angry, shouting, oh, how dare you choose yourself? Oh, how dare she or he or, you collective, right? And we got this old person, who looks like they have messy, unkempt hair, very this is the way I had to draw it, and the way I didn't intentionally make it this way, okay? This is how it came up. And you see the judgmental, disgusted facial expression, and it says here, number one hater. So I'm sorry, for some of you might actually have an older person, perhaps an older woman, but take what resonates. Doesn't have to be who is your number one hater, who is always judging you, who thinks that you aren't good enough. They want you to always prove yourself, and if you've already suffered, they want you to suffer even more. If you've already tried to be as good and as kind and as overgiving as possible, they still think that's not good enough. Oh, you should jump through hoops for me. Oh, a good wife would do this. A good daughter would do that. That's the kind of energy I'm sensing here. Like, don't take it like quite as literally as that. The examples I'm giving is just hypothetical to that sort of energy. And you may have tried to fix everything and try your absolute best before you realized the red flag that this person was just gonna take and drain you here. That this person was a player, they were trying to run a game on you, trying to see just how much they can drain and take. And you see, there's these angry faces of like, oh, and it says, need you, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation mark, right? In full big capital letters. So it's like these people are so mad and angry that you stopped overgiving, that you finally chose yourself. And there's just a lot going on here. And it says these words like old farts, but I swear I'm not lying. This is what just came out. So like, it's not like I'm like rude towards old people, but there's a really nasty, judgmental, elderly person or someone older than you just rooting for your downfall or trying to. And we got this poopy smelling jerk, this mean face, and then this person who looks like they have a very messy beard and kind of looks like Shaggy. It's given Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, no lies. And it's like they're peeping through something. Like, maybe this is the creepy energy, yeah, that I picked up on. So mean and entitled. This is why I'm going so hard on these people. And part B, I'm gonna go in on these specific people, because some specific people and specific energies and archetypes came out. Yeah, so these are mean, entitled, greedy people, opportunists who, look at that, they aren't happy with whatever they're given. They want more supply, more supply. They want to build off of your labor, your efforts, everything. So now's the time to detach and return to sender. Take your power back from these people who have been using you or trying to use you. And it says bad built. So maybe this is very specific. People who really don't look after themselves, who let themselves go, who are shaped like a busted can of biscuits, who like, no offense but offense, actually offense, yeah, because these be the types of people, not always, this is just a generalization, these be the types of people who hate themselves, they hate how they look, and they're gonna look out to someone like you and complain about the way you look, or try to be rude about your personality or nitpick and be your number one hater. Because this is how they be looking. Meanwhile, this is how they be looking. Like a melting candle. Like, it's like priorities. And it's a sign they really let themselves go. They hate themselves. They throw themselves a pity party. They even neglect their hygiene. Look at that poopy smelling jerk. They're mean and entitled. Yeah.